We are spiritual beings having a human experience. We are members of a global family, each one playing a particular part and working together for the advancement of all. Join me, Jean Walters, on an amazing journey that will deepen and expand your awareness and your growth in knowing the truth, and together we will live in the light.
Hello, Jean.
Hi, Pam.
Welcome.
Thank you. It looks like a great day today, doesn't it?
It is a beautiful day, even though some might think it's not the greatest. But
Because it's cold, you think?
yeah, it's winter time as we record this.
But you know what? Winter is sort of like quiet time, would you say? It's more quiet than summer, where you're busy and going and outdoors, and winter gives us that little break. So I'm learning how to really accept it and appreciate it.
Ah, very good. Very good.
I'm learning how to do that.
I would think you've probably already learned everything, but
Oh.
I guess not.
Well, I'm still here.
Okay.
Okay. So I guess not. Got a couple more things.
But you're going to teach us today about
Yeah.
karma.
Karma.
And we're going to talk about what is the truth about karma.
Yes.
Okay. So I've heard the term for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually in a negative
Yep.
context.
Right.
Is karma bad? Is karma good? What is it?
Karma's neutral. Okay, so there is no good or bad to karma. It's just, in a sense, it's cause and effect, but it's bigger than that, actually. So if you can imagine that we're setting into motion certain energies all the time, like, when you turn the light switch on, you set into motion an electricity going through a wire that connects to the light, that turns the bulb on, so there's a whole process involved in that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, karma is the same thing, so that we set into motion certain energies. So let's say that I was super kind to people, and then, or let's say Mother Teresa, for instance. I mean, she was certainly super kind to people, many, many, many people, and she was a saint in some ways, whatever that would be. And so we would say that karmically, if we understand the law of circulation, that what she put out, being her givingness and her kindness, would come back to her, and that would be what we would call karma. So karma is, to me, is just a learning principle, that we're constantly learning that what we put out comes back. And so karma can be good in that I've set up a lot of ways that I've been good and kind. Like people set up foundations, and we have the Shriners Hospital for Kids, that kids can go and be helped and they don't have to pay. I mean, that is... Yeah. Whoever set that up and all the people that contribute to it are really creating good, possible, wonderful karma that will show up in their life in a very kind, loving way. So, but on the other side of it, we can also be cruel and hurt people on purpose. And when we have that kind of an intention, then that's what comes back around. And so karma is really, I call it a learning tool, because we're constantly getting to learn what it is that we're putting out there. And people will say, well, I do all these good things, but I always think about, well, what was your intention? Was your intention to look good? See me? I created a charity. Mm-hmm. Or was your intention to be truly heartfelt and helpful and kind? Because you'll know the difference, because people who give out of just pure kindness and love don't need to be advertising it. Mm-hmm. They don't need, like, look at me. So, and I'm not putting down anyone who is very famous for their givingness, because sometimes if there's a famous person doing something wonderful, then other people will jump on the bandwagon and give too. So there's a purpose in that. But anyway, it basically comes down to a learning tool that we get to recognize in our life. And everything has a cause-effect ratio. And so we get to look at our life and go, what have I created thus far? What have I accomplished thus far? What is my life showing me right now? And your life does not make a mistake. It's showing you whatever it is that you've been instrumental in thinking, doing, saying, feeling, and whatever your intentions have been. It's going to show up in your life. So, and it's just a law. It nothing you can negotiate. It just is, you can't,
Is it a balancing?
it's so much. That's a great way to put it. It's very much of a balancing thing, because we are constantly balancing what we're doing, what we're saying. We realize, oops, made a mistake, adjust. Like that course correct thing on your GPS.
Yeah.
It's a course correct. But when we look at people's lives, we understand where they've been coming from. And it's not about judgment. It's just like, oh, you hold sickness in your mind all the time. You talk about sickness. You live in your sickness. You advertise your sickness. So it can't be shocking that you're sick, because you put all your attention and focus on sickness. And so that's called karma. It's not saying you're a bad person, you're going to be sick. That's not it at all. And I think in our world, sometimes we say, oh, bad karma, you're sick. No. No. That's not it at all. And, you're a good person because you're a millionaire. No. You invested well. You learned a lot about finances. You worked hard. You did some things that evoked this energy pattern of wealth. So how you handle it, what you do with it, how you experience it is intention. Okay. So karma works from intention. It's always working from intention. So that's what we want to pay attention to, because just because you grew up in a poverty-stricken area of India, it does not necessarily mean that you're being punished. It means that there's some lessons there that you get to learn. And if you learn them well, who knows? I mean, life is open-ended. We can change anything to anything. We can start out at point A and we can end up at point Z or B, or we can stay in point A forever. Mm-hmm. So it's completely up to you. It's completely up to each person. And I think that's wonderful, because we have free will. That's our great gift. We have been given free will. And so we get to choose all the time.
Jean, what happens if you have a good intention, but somebody gets hurt?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Whether
that's
it's
a great question.
physically or, emotionally, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What happens with that?
Well, see, what you're doing right now is judging getting hurt. But if you don't judge getting hurt, you might see that maybe that getting hurt, let's say your body gets hurt, and then if we look at that and we go, what happened as a result of you broke your leg? What are the people you met? What was the process you went through? How did it change your life? Where did it lead you? Where did that energy take you? And we might go, oh, wow, I met this person that's been my best friend forever. I had to move to this other place where I got the right therapy, and that's been phenomenal for me. So we don't want to become so narrow-minded about good, bad, that we don't see that everything offers many things to us. An injury could change the course of our life. Joe Dispenza is a good example of that. He was hit by a bus and he broke his back in several places, and all the doctors said that, you'll never walk again. And he said no. And he decided to do his own healing. So he would visualize his back in perfect order, his back growing in perfect order, his spine is perfect. And over a period of 6 weeks, he did this, and he was able to get up and walk. So he could have taken the advice of these other people who were well-meaning and got the surgery and lived in a wheelchair and all of that. But he decided, no, I have a different understanding of life and energy and bodies, and I'm going to go my route. Well, is that good karma or bad karma? It's just a decision, and it's an outcome, and it's a path that he followed. And from there, he has become world renowned in helping people understand energy and healing and changing the world in his own way. And he's never been incapacitated from that point.
Wow.
So see, we could say that was a really bad thing that happened. And of course, it was very painful. But what came out of it? So sometimes we have a situation that's very painful, emotionally, physically, mentally, whatever. But out of that, we grow exponentially. And then we become a different person altogether. Another story was Michael Beckwith, who is a wonderful minister in California. He has a huge following, written many books, and he was a drug dealer.
He was.
He was a drug dealer,
Wow.
and he said his network was like through the whole United States. And he said he'll laugh about it and say, I was definitely entrepreneurial. Truly he was. But there was a sting, and he was caught, and he ended up in jail. So when he was in jail, he had this epiphany that completely changed his life. Completely changed who he was, completely changed everything. And from when he was released from jail, he became a minister. And he serves thousands and thousands of people. He's renowned through the world.
Mm-hmm.
So what? Tell me what that was. Was that something he needed to complete? Was that something that he needed to change his point of view? What was that? I don't know. I don't know what to call it other than an awakening. And I think many times, we're in a situation where we're awakened. And hallelujah, praise the Lord. But oftentimes, we aren't awakened by just walking through the door or going to the next meeting. We're awakened by something shocking or
the universe has to get our attention.
Yeah. Well, or it's like it rearranges all the energy, Yeah. And I mean, so anyway, that's what I'm talking about. Is that we have to be careful what we say, good and bad, because there's good in everything. And if we want to, we can find bad in everything. We can do it either way. But I mean, regardless, it's a learning experience.
Mm-hmm.
And what do we want to do with it? Basically, what do we want to do with it? And we can choose to make it the best we can make it. And we can look at it from the highest point of view. Like we were talking about maybe being 6 feet tall and looking at our situation, or what was the other one you said, being way out
the 30,000.
30,000 feet and looking at a situation,
Yeah.
and then how do we see it if we're at 30,000 feet,
Mm-hmm.
But we want to do that. We want to look and see what perspective we can look at. Now, Michael Beckwith owns this. He doesn't hide the fact that he went the wrong side of the law, but he also doesn't hide the fact that it was a transforming experience, and that's what he wants for other people. He wants to help them have their transforming experience, and we're all capable of that. We're all capable of transformation, and the opportunities are there. Every time we look around, they're there.
Mm-hmm.
People to help you, ways to grow, ways that we can look from a different perspective, and then something that is bad can actually become good.
Sure, you can break your back in a bus accident. And go on to
and change the whole world
Yeah.
as a result of that. That's so powerful.
It is very, very powerful.
It's available to us,
Well, when I first learned about a little bit about karma, it was in the context of reincarnation, past lives, and so forth. Mm-hmm. So if I do something in a past life that was harmful to someone else, intending,
yeah.
Then is it going to happen to me either in that lifetime or a subsequent lifetime, or do we get to pick and choose?
Well, what is there? It says something about not one jot or one tittle will be forgotten until all comes to pass. That's in the Bible. Not one jot or one tittle will be forgotten until all has come to pass. So that means that everything's in the record. It's like if whatever I do, even if I did it in another time period, if I haven't reconciled it, it still comes to pass, you know. And I know that people tend to think karma's bad, but it really isn't. It's just a chance to reconcile. It's a chance to catch up with ourselves. It's a chance to learn what we need. Maybe we forgot to learn or we didn't learn, and we get a chance to learn it again. We have that opportunity. And so I think they really minimize and limit the universe when they say it's bad, because the universe is never bad. But sometimes we have negative intentions. One time I was thinking about, now why do I have allergies? Because it affects your breathing, you know. And I was thinking about that, and this picture came to my mind of being a coal miner, where I was, like in the coal mines, and I was breathing in coal dust, and I thought, well, that's an interesting picture. It's like, did I bring that in with me, that sense of like, I can't breathe, you know? So, and then I had another picture in my mind. Now, who knows where these pictures came from, right? I mean, they could have been just lots of answers that I was asking for, or maybe nothing. And this one was I was in a group of men in a desert, and we were robbers or thieves or something like that. And so sometimes if we were mad at somebody, we would bury them in the desert up to their neck.
Oh, gosh.
And I thought, well, that certainly would involve your breathing now, wouldn't it? You know? Oh, goodness gracious. Whoa. Now, I mean, I don't think anyone could look at me today and go, well, I could see a thief in you that buries people up to their neck. But what does it matter? I mean, what does it matter? I mean, we don't know what past things we've done, or we don't know. But I do know that what is it? Not one jot or one tittle will be forgotten until all is fulfilled, you know. So we get to live these things out. Things that maybe we didn't do well, and we maybe want to do well, and so we get to experience that until we can figure it out. It's okay. Maybe you need to be in poverty for a while because you never really embraced it, or you blamed other people for it instead of yourself, or whatever. And so we figure this out, and then we can move on. And we can have something else.
But you have to get to the balancing point.
Balance meaning that you really have to learn from it. You learn from it. And you, instead of saying it's a bad thing, I'm a sufferer, I'm a victim, because all that does is it glues you in place. Now I'm glued into this body that doesn't work. Okay, because I'm making it bad, instead of going, okay, how can I handle this better? And
it's the other guy's fault and not mine.
So I'm going to be in that victim mode for my life, and then all that does is glue victimhood into my psyche, and then I'm living this crazy life of victimhood. And we all know somebody like that, right?
But that's what you're feeling, and you're putting out to the universe.
Yeah.
The universe is like a mirror, and it just sends it back to you.
Oh, you want victim? Okay, here's victim. We got victim. We can do victim.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and so here's another way to be a victim. Oh, you asking for victim? Great. Here's another way. Here's another way. Here's another way. Because you keep asking for that. So we're going to accommodate you, because we always accommodate you. If you want victim, we'll help you with that. If you want to be a survivor, we'll help you with that. If you want to glorify in this, we'll help you with that. If you want to grow beyond it, we'll help you with that. So
is that all different kinds of manifestation?
Yes. Yeah. People will show up in your life, and they'll go, hey, I've got this process that I can help you with, and you'll be able to work through some of the stuff. Yay! You brought that to you, or maybe there's a particular kind of surgery that's going to make it all better, and you go, okay, I get it. I was handed that. Thank you. I got it. So the universe is very generous. If you want help, it's there. You have to listen. It might be an idea that comes to you, and you go, I get it. Now I know what I need to do next. And so it comes, but we'll go, oh, well, that's just intuition. It doesn't matter. Yes, it does, because that's how the universe communicates with you. It gives you these little nudges. And then you go, I always go, thank you. Thank you, I got it. Uh-huh. And but many people will discard it because it's not rational. I don't know what rational is, because to me, intuition is the most rational thing. Ask Einstein about that. He'll say intuition is the most important thing you could have, Imagination and intuition will lead you on that light ray out into the universe. So, but rational did it come from the left brain? And intuition is a right brain thing. It's a very creative, very in the moment, You don't have to take six degrees or have all the letters behind your name. You don't have to learn Greek. You can have intuition anytime, all the time, and it's always available to you. And it's your greatest champion.
If you just let it through.
You listen to it, and no matter how crazy it sounds, you go with it. Because that will be your next step. Whatever it is will be your next step, And all you have to do is take it. And then if you find you hate it, then don't take it anymore. But, the chances are when you're intuitively guided to something, you're on the right track. And there's a feeling that goes with it. It might be a little scary, but the overriding feeling is, yes, this is good. Keep going.
So karma,
yeah,
karma can be and
karma is really neutral. It truly is neutral. Yeah. It's just a result. Think of it as a result.
It's a result.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like if you eat carbs all day long and your body doesn't handle carbs all that well, you're probably going to get heavy. Is that somebody's fault? Other than you ate the wrong food. Mm-hmm. And then you get to learn about that. Do I like it? Do I like my body to be heavy like this? Or do I like to be sluggish? Do I like, not being able to move well enough? Yes, no. Okay, I'm going to change it. Mm-hmm. It could be that simple, really.
But understanding that you have the ability to change it is mind-blowing.
Yeah. Well, I do a little exercise in my class where I'll have people just close-eye experience, where you think about illness and you imagine the energy around illness and the color of illness, the shape of illness, the sound of illness, and then get that clear in your mind just record it, and then move your attention to vibrant health, and then get the feeling of vibrant health, what it looks like, what it sounds like. Is there a different sound to it? Is it a different vibration? What does vibrant health feel like in your body? And you'll notice a difference. Now shift it over to poverty. And what does poverty feel like, look like, smell like, taste like? What is poverty? What is it as an energy? And then when you get that really clear in your mind, then shift it over to prosperity and abundance, and you'll get a whole different feeling, energy, etc. So when you do that, and it's easy to do, because I'll say poverty, abundance, illness, health, disorder, chaos, and order. And we can shift our mind just like that, bing, 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 bing. And when I demonstrate that to people, how quickly they can shift it, they can see that they can go from retraction and resistance and tightness to openness and clarity and peace. They can shift from the ickiness of poverty, the tightness, the restriction of poverty, and then they can shift it into an openness of abundance. A freedom of abundance. Now, what happens then if you live in that freedom all the time? If you require of yourself that I choose to live in the energy of prosperity, whether my bank account shows it or not, I choose to live in the energy of prosperity. I choose to live in that energy. No matter what, I'm going to live in that energy. What will happen? What do you think will happen?
everything will be okay.
Yeah, because you're going to get
It'll
an
be
idea.
prosperous, yeah.
You're going to get an idea like, oh, here's a financial planner you can talk to.
Mm.
Oh, here's a new job that offers you a little bit more pay, that maybe even more aligned with who you are. Oh, so, now you meet a friend and he helps you because he says, oh, well, I've got some opportunities over here that might serve you. And so things begin to shift and change in your life because you've accepted the idea that I live in the energy of prosperity. I live in the energy of vibrant health. I live in the energy of order. Okay? And so I disavow disorder. I disavow chaos. I disavow illness. Okay? And I'm choosing this instead. And when you do that, then your life begins to take on that order, that abundance, that freedom, that all of those, because there's an energy that goes with every kind of mood or every kind of state of being. There's an energy, and you choose the energy. So how difficult is it? It's just reminding you, wait a minute, I lost it for a second. Get back, go right back into the freedom and the joy of living in abundance. And then you will get the little indications that keep showing up in your mind that says, oh, go talk to this guy, or maybe go to that seminar, or read that book, and pretty soon you're on a different path, and it's available to everybody. There's nothing magic about it. It's just the way the mind works.
In the way the universe works.
In the way the universe works, exactly, yeah. With the mind and the universe, we're all connected. So there's never like a line, this is Jean, and then from here on is the universe.
Mm-hmm.
I am the universe, and you are the universe. And so we're operating in the vast field of the universe at all times. We just get lost in the idea that I have this little container. But all it is a vehicle that we can use to communicate. That's really what the body is.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can communicate from this vehicle here, but who I am is the whole universe. So are you. We all are. And so we're drawing from resources, that we don't even know exist. We're always drawing from them.
And are those also vibrations?
Yeah. Everything's a vibration. Hot is a vibration, cold is a vibration, big is a vibration, small is a vibration, everything. It has its own vibratory quality. There's the great scientist, let's see, what was the guy that was in the wheelchair? Hawkins. Okay, but
Hawkins,
I'm thinking
Stephen
about,
Hawking.
he was, that's not the Hawkins I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of David Hawkins. David Hawkins is a, and there's no relationship, but he studied energy and vibration, and he made a whole chart of the vibratory qualities, or the level of energy that people were at. So for instance, if 1,000 was the highest you could go, we might consider people somewhere around like Jesus or Buddha. Okay, Mother Teresa was like 700. He said unconditional love is 500, a vibratory rate of 500. So what was the baseline? I'm not sure. I haven't read the whole book, but the thing is that he was able to chart the vibratory quality of people. The Bible has a high vibrational quality because of the way people look at the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's really interesting stuff but what I'm saying is that science backs up everything that I'm saying, basically. We want to vibrate at least at 500 because that's unconditional love, But when we're vibrating at a higher level, our magnetism grows.
It does.
Yes. So our magnets become stronger. Part of it is because in order to get to a place of unconditional love, we have to clear out all the goopy stuff like hate and anger and resentment and vengeance and all that. And so when we're clearing all that out, it increases our ability to magnetize.
And does that balance out karma then?
Karma is a balancing thing. It's because it's just we come in to learn lessons. It's as simple as that. We come in to learn lessons. Maybe I'm really have a knack for math, so I might be a mathematician. But I particularly have a knack for intuition and higher, in universal laws and metaphysics and that sort of thing. So that's what I do with my life. But somebody else is a great painter, and somebody else knows how to fix engines like nobody's business. And those are things that they gravitate toward. Those give you a way to communicate and express and share. But you can do that with a great intention, or you can do it with a negative intention.
Mm-hmm. It's all up to us, isn't it?
It's all up to us. I mean, you absolutely have free will.
So, Jean, we've just barely scratched the surface.
Yeah, it's all kinds of good stuff.
We could
though,
go for
isn't it?
hours and hours on this. For people really that want to dig a little deeper,
Yeah.
What do you suggest?
And understand their own karma, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I suggest that they give me a call, and if they really find themselves stuck, or if they're trying to figure some things out, or if they're trying to get to the next level, or just grow a little bit, I'm available to help. And my website is spiritualtransformation.com, and my information's on there, but my phone number is on there. You can call me. I work with people from all over the place, all over the U.S. and beyond, and I like helping them. I'll help them find where they get stuck, and we can find a way to move beyond that. So I'm available, and I've written books, and so you can find me on Amazon as well.
Books on Amazon.
There you go.
And you're all over the internet, too.
Yes, I am.
Jean Walters, thank you. It's always a pleasure talking with you.
Pam, I love it. Thank you so much for including me. I really appreciate it.
You've been listening to Jean Walters' Live in the Light podcast. Jean's passion is helping people live in the light. A longtime student and teacher of metaphysics, Jean aims to supply you with the tools you need to help you see the light that's within you. Jean Walters is a personal growth consultant, teacher, and lecturer. She offers dream interpretation services and Akashic record readings. Jean is also an international best-selling author of a growing library of enlightening books. Great reading for seekers and those who want to understand universal law, intuition, and develop deep understanding and personal awareness. Jean's website is spiritualtransformation.com. She offers 2 YouTube channels, at Jean M. Walters and at Jean Walters 7221. Contact Jean's office by phone at 314-566-5231. 314-566-5231. Her email address is jean@spiritualtransformation.com. Thanks for joining us for Jean Walters' Live in the Light podcast.